What is up, guys? It's Dan the Man, and today I'm back with my usual videos about me playing in a tournament and then going over the games. My last video, if you guys didn't see that, I shared some of my words, some of my thoughts about the tragic passing of Daniel Naroditsky. So I hope you guys have been spreading awareness about the cause, bringing justice to this horrible event, telling your friends and family and loved ones, and that way we can all mourn together, and the chess community will grow stronger in a way because we're all uh, saddened by Danya's passing. But anyway, this video will not be continuing that. We must focus on brighter things, and this will be a tournament I played here at the University of Florida. Um, I haven't been in Georgia doing my normal tournaments because, surprise, surprise, I'm in college, and I was busy with school. So when I heard that there was a chess tournament by our club here, um, I jumped at the opportunity because why not? I haven't played in a long time, and this was a way to see if I'm rusty over the board after like 2 months of not playing. So all these names that are going to be appearing are foreign because everyone's from Florida and I'm not. So I don't know anything about these people, but based on their ratings, I can tell they're pretty strong. And I'm playing the first round. I'm playing against Ethan Tall, who is a student here as well. He's rated 1686. So let's go ahead and jump straight into the game here. So I begin with e4. Ethan goes c5. Knight f3. Oh, I should mention that the time control is 25 plus 5, so it's moderately fast. Not super fast, but it's kind of like a rapid classical, hybrid. It's in the middle. It counts for classical and quick rating. Thought I should point that out. So knight f3. Ethan goes e6 here. I go d4. We trade, and then Ethan plays knight c6. This is all book move. Bishop e3, a6. I didn't really understand this move. I mean, it made sense, but I felt like he could have developed a piece with knight f6, as the engine is suggesting. Bishop e2, I just keep it simple. Knight f6, knight d2, queen c7, castle, knight takes d4, bishop takes d4. This was a slight inaccuracy on my part because I'm allowing Ethan to play the move e5, which would hit the bishop, so it's sort of like wasting a tempo, but he didn't play that. He went bishop d6, which I can't argue. It makes sense. And he's giving me the opportunity to double pawns, but I didn't want to double his pawns because if I were to trade and he takes back, I'm giving him the G file, and maybe he can, in some universe, he can build an attack, maybe move the king here, sometime move the bishop, bring the other rook over, and make some sort of king attack. I don't know, it's just like a half-open G file. It's not something I want to invite voluntarily. So I refrain from taking, and I just go with h3. The engine's weird. It says king h1 is the top move, but no human does that. So I just play h3 because, after all, that pawn was hit twice with that battery, and I'm just, saving the pawn like a normal person would. So here, Ethan goes b5. I was kind of expecting him to castle, but then again, since he's castled, I would take his knight, and then he would double the pawns in front of his king, so that wouldn't really be an option. But he's trying to go b5, I guess going queenside gate and queenside space. And here I go c4. It's very confrontational. This pawn is now hit twice, and if he takes, then I'll hop my knight into c4, hitting his bishop, and he's having some problems. Like, the bishop will have to run away. Then I can play moves like bishop to e5, force the queen back, and this is very awkward. I can have all sorts of fun with my pieces. My pieces are very active here. So this is not something Ethan would want to do. So he didn't take. He played the move e5 now. We played it a bit too late. And my bishop only has one square to go to, because if I go here, he traps me. Notice the bishop has no squares, so that's why I'll delete this part. Notice here that, yeah, I have to go bishop to e3, only safe move, and then Ethan goes b4 here. And as you can see by the engine, I'm not up anything materially, but my position is strong enough that it feels like I'm up a pawn. Why, you ask? Well, it's because I have the c pawn that could potentially move up. His king is still in the center, which could pose some issues down the road. But I don't know, it's just more of a spatial advantage here, and his bishop's kind of blocked in by his pawns, so not really too great of a scope. So stuff like that. Anyway, I go bishop g5, which the engine was not too fond of. My idea was to try to double the pawns, so if I was trying to delay him from castling. So if Ethan were to castle here, this would be really bad for him, because my idea would have been to double the pawns, and now his king is pretty unsafe. So that was the idea of bishop g5. But yeah, I was totally expecting bishop e7 to just defend the knight, but he went a bit too passive. He moved the knight to g8, undeveloping it. But I guess his idea was to try to play f6, to try to kick the bishop out like that, and then maybe go knight e7 and castle. I don't know, maybe that was what was going through his head. But I know I just go ahead and play the move knight b3. Knight b3, I'm trying to back up the move c5, maybe play queen d5, hit the rook, bring the rook over, stuff like that. Here he plays the move bishop to b7, attacking this pawn on e4. I defend it with queen d3, a5, preparing to go a4 to move the knight from b3. So I delay that, actually, by a move. I play rook a d1, gaining tempo on the bishop. The bishop went to e7, and here I make a mistake. The engine says I should have traded bishops, but I felt like that would have been helping him develop his knight, and I didn't want that. So I went f4 because it defends my bishop, and if he were to trade, then my bishop becomes really powerful. I gain tempo on the queen. Rook has a half-open file. Can hop my knight in. Again, bishop can come in, hit this pawn. Everything's very soft and fragile in black's position, so trading in these instances would only help me. Okay, so let me delete this. All right, so f4, he's not supposed to take, and here he played the move d6, which at first it made sense, you know, trying to be extra solid, defend this pawn. But then after studying the position a bit, I noticed that he kind of just hung a pawn, because I can play this move bishop takes e7, removing a guard from this pawn on d6, and king takes looks really stupid. That would technically defend the pawn, but you're bringing your king to e7, let's be real. So he played knight takes e7, but I end up just grabbing the pawn, and we enter this endgame where I am up a pawn, as you guys can see right here. I'm up a pawn. My knight can go to c5, can double rooks, have this nice advanced pawn in the center. Black's king being in the center is not as big of an issue as it was because there's no queens, but that still doesn't mean that his king is safe entirely. So after fe5, Ethan went to knight f5, hitting the rook, and a crazy move the engine suggests is to play the move c5 and basically say, hey, I'm fine giving up the exchange, because when I take back, these pawns are really strong. They're connected passed pawns, and although they can't advance at the moment, the engine says that after the moves like castles and bishop e5, you're controlling this diagonal, so that way the pawns can escort up the board. And Black's exchange isn't really felt here at all. It's because I'm up a pawn, but I have the same amount of fighting pieces as Black, but it's a bishop for a rook, and then Black's rooks are really inactive. And I can soon bring my knight here, play c6, d7, c7. So it's just really great compensation for me. So that was what the engine said, but I'm instinctively moved the rook to safety and played the move rook d2. here he played the move knight g3, which is a fork. So I played rook fd1. And the point of me going rook d2 is so that bishop could be defended. Here Ethan trades and then plays the move bishop to c6. And now my advantage is plus 3.5, plus 3.6. And I'm pretty much totally winning here. So I play the move knight d4, attacking the bishop. Not the best move. I should have went e6. But I do that in the next move. I go e6 because it's more forcing. It forces the bishop to either move or open the position up where his king is sort of open because and my rooks are on open files. Meanwhile, black's rooks are in their starting positions and pretty inactive. And I must remind you that I'm up a pawn here too. So our position is really great. I just need to find a way of converting this efficiently. And at this point, I had like maybe 8-9 minutes, and he had about the same. So I just had to convert this efficiently. I knew I was winning, but I just needed to clean it up. Here I play rook b6, rook a7, stopping the check, rook to d5, rook to e8, getting his other rook active, rook f5 check, king g8, rook b5, rook b to b5, hitting this pawn twice. He went g6, thinking that I couldn't take the pawn, but he was wrong because I indeed did take the pawn, because his rook over here is undefended. So if he were to take me, I would take him, and I would just win another pawn. And although black's rook can pose some problems on the second rank, I can just play the move b3. Everything is defended. This rook sees this pawn. Everything is really solid, and this rook does not do anything. So, for that reason, after rook takes a5, Ethan played the move rook to e1 check, which is actually a bit of a tricky move, because I have three options. I can move my king here, I can move my king here, or I can block. Blocking is the worst option, because that undefends this rook, so Ethan could take and then take on a5, and that would basically be me losing a rook. Delete that. But my move is not much better. I should have went king h2 just to sort of be behind the pawns and not have the rooks bother me. But I felt like that was kind of going away from the center, which is counterintuitive in endgames. In endgames, you're taught that the king should be close to the center where it's active. But I went king f2 here. And now I throw away my winning position and make it slightly better. I'm slightly better, but it's arguably a draw, according to a human. And the reason is that after rook a to e7, because my king is kind of vulnerable here, Ethan's just threatening to play checks on my king and sort of bother me. That's all it is. Now, and also, I can't defend against it because my rook is still hanging. So I have to deal with that. So I play rook on f to b5. And here he plays check. King f3, and then he grabs a pawn. So even though I'm still up a pawn here, my king is pretty exposed, and I don't have a great extra pawn. I mean, none of my pawn. Okay, this pawn is passed, but it's not even that far advanced. And the main reason is just that black has a lot of activity with his rooks and can bother me down the line. So here I play rook a4, but we also have a few minutes here. So we're guaranteed to make some blunders, and this will not be a draw, as you guys will see later. So I play rook a4, double attacking this pawn. He plays king f7. He's blitzing out moves too to try not to flag. I play rook b takes b4, and I thought I was very happy because I'm up 2 pawns, as you guys can see here. I'm up 2 pawns, this a and this c pawn. Okay, I'm gonna get rid of that notification. Yeah, I'm just up 2 pawns that could potentially queen in the future. So here, Ethan played rook b to e2, preparing to check me on e3, but I defend that with rook b3, which apparently wasn't the best move. I apparently could have ignored it and played c5, and I could have moved the king up because there are no checks, because my rooks cover the 4th rank sufficiently. So I didn't have to really worry about that. So let me delete this. Alright, so I went rook b3, kind of getting scared of the check. He went rook 7 to e6, sort of waiting around. c5 now, because after rook c2, I wanted to play rook f4 check. So I first went rook b7 check to pick up this pawn. If the king goes to g8 or f8, it's a ladder mate. Actually, f8 he can block, but if he went to g8, it would be a ladder mate, so he can't defend that pawn. But before taking it, I played a rook f4 check. He went king to e5, rook e4 check. I could have taken first. And here, Ethan makes the final blunder. Well, he was losing anyway, but this move makes it even worse. He could have persisted and been defending with king d5, but he went king f5. And that loses a rook by force, because after the move rook f7 check, the only way to keep defending the rook is to block with the rook. But then, after rook to f4 check, Ethan Tall resigned the game, and we win round 1 of the Gator Chess Club Championship Open section. So, if we look at the accuracy here, I played pretty well at 84.7, and Ethan Tall played okay at 79.3. And if we look at the moves classification, we both made some mistakes, especially me. I had that one blunder where I moved the king the wrong way, but that's negligible. That wasn't like losing a piece or something. So it's not a huge blunder. And we made some endgame inaccuracies, but overall we won the game, and that's pretty much all that matters. And yeah, this was a good game from both of us, in my opinion. Even though he's 1686, he definitely put up quite a fight. And I'll see you guys in round 2. If you like content like this, please don't forget to smash the subscribe button if you haven't already. Leave a comment. Let me know what you thought. And I'm recording on a different device, actually. So that's how you guys can see arrows in live rather than pre-made. I'm recording on a computer. So hopefully that works better than what I had previously recorded on. But anyway, let me know what you thought of the game, and yeah, have a great rest of your day or night. Bye.